Good morning and welcome to Dinosaurs and Mysteries. So today I've got the ghost hunting, ghost tube SLS app. Now apparently this is like the leading mobile ghost. Okay, there you go. So what it does is it detects changes in magnetic fields, and it also uses your phone's sensors to try and artificial intelligence to try and represent what it's actually picking up from, say, like the spirit sort of realm, the spirit sort of dimension. And I've just had this image come up now, as you can see. I'm out of words. This is really odd. Now it's become quite bright, so you might see the images, if I do get any more, pop up before me. I'm still kind of get to grasping what actually it does. That's why I've read it and I do understand it, but it seems it's apparently the first app that's kind of like, I don't want to say an all-in-one, but it combines modern day technologies that we have in our phones to assist with spiritual and psychic beliefs, and it detects change in electromagnetic fields, which is said to say if it fluctuates and there's no electronics around or power banks, etc., then it's most likely it could be something paranormal. Right, the sun is right, let's go this way. There's a bit of shadowing over there. So I will say this: yesterday, or a few days ago, I was at home and I got this app, and I've got the other two apps, and it picked up something, but I didn't quite make it out. It was very small. And when I've gone on to this today, before I'm making this video, I saw the picture, and it's actually made me go, oh, okay. I'll show it you now. But it's basically an old black and white picture of a couple holding hands, but you can't see the head, you can't see the top half, but they're snugged in together and they're holding hands, and it's clearly from an old black and white picture. And this was taken in my house. We've only lived there for a couple of years. Now, I am a photographer. I do like black and white photography. I did not make an image, and I'm not using it to try and, come up with, get views, basically. This was I literally sat down on a bench to set up my my little Joby then, and it literally sorry, I'm just going past the infant graveyard, so I don't want to, there's people in there. So yeah, so I sat down and I looked at it and I thought, oh, it captured an image. This was from when I got the app, and I looked at it and I thought, well, ghosts, an old black and white picture, an old couple that have obviously passed away. Why is that image coming up? Why is this app picking up that image in my house? That image isn't in my house. Oh. Okay. This is interesting. Wow. I'm really glad. Do you know what? I was in two minds. I completely forgot about this app, and I was going to use the app that detects human forms, skeletal forms, and I'm so glad I didn't, because this is really interesting. I suppose it depends where I'm aiming the camera, really. Right, so I've just realised I'm facing my way. So I'm going to face it outwards, because there's a lot more graves and a lot more scenery that way. There we go. Another good thing about doing this with the camera facing outwards is that obviously it gives me, sometimes I'll get something in frame and I'll think, oh, that'll make a great photograph. So then later on I'll do a walk with my camera. I've already been here with my camera twice, and actually use my proper DSLR to capture some images. See, like that. That'd make like a pretty spooky image. Anyway, actually that's pretty cool up there. The top of that, you can't see it through there, but the 35mm lens with on my DSLR. So anyway, if you've not heard of these ghost tube apps, I would really recommend it, especially if you're into paranormal, if you like watching stuff to do with ghosts, if you like watching videos about people going, talking about haunted towns, haunted cities, and you really want to get your foot in the door, or you'd like to do your own little things. These are great because they're on your phone, and at the end of the day, when you do get a result on it, you can't explain it. So you might think, oh, my phone's just picking up, for example, the Vox app, the one that picks up voices. It might pick up a voice and you might think, oh, that could be someone just that could be someone on the phone and it's picking up the frequency, or someone could be watching a video and it's picking up that frequency, but you don't know. Like I did the voice one here a few weeks ago, and I caught a couple. There was one really creepy one that just sounded like people that were watching YouTube videos and stuff, but you don't know. But then I had someone comments on it saying they heard things that I didn't hear, and they said, oh, I'm a bit worried for you. So yeah. So we've caught what, 2 things so far. So I'm just gonna. Now I am aware I am in a graveyard and people do come here and visit people, bring flowers. Okay, here we go. Wow. See, I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what it's capturing. Is it... Is that shadows and reflections and heat bouncing off gravestones? That looks like something from a dream. See, there are some... See, that I can't explain, which is good because it's, is a bit of a bizarre thing, but there could be something completely normal and there could be an explanation for it. But whatever it is, it's radiant. Wow. I think the one that I've captured at home at the moment is I'm definitely going to do one on that. Might do a completely not a separate video, but I'll post the picture. I'll post it on my community page on the channel, and I think we'll go this way. It is a bit bright going this way, but these are the older graves. I find myself drawn towards older side of graveyards and older churches because, well, they remind me of the old 1930 horror films. So I'm just gonna go from side to side to see if it picks anything up. Now I probably will edit this, so say if there's 10-minute gaps in between it picking anything up, I don't want you to get bored after 5 minutes and think, oh, let's pick some up and now it's boring. That'll make a nice picture. Obviously this camera, the lens on the phone is a lot wider from what the human eye can see. Oh wow, look at that tomb. Right, that's my DSLR's capturing that later. I'll turn it back on myself in a minute just for a change so you don't get bored. Should we walk down this little bit leading to the well, I don't think it's a church. It looks like a church, but it might have something to do with crematoriums, because there is 2 funeral homes surrounding this church, obviously. Right. So, what do you make of the images. Are the images the what do you make of the images that were captured so far? There's a really, really nice tombstone here. It's an old one. It's got an angel on it. Now, the writing on it is quite visible. So I could take a picture of it, and I could easily use the masking tool on Lightroom so it's just the text. You can't understand the text. When I take pictures of old graves, I don't like them having the names and the dates on them, because I find that disrespectful. Now this is it looks like a little church. Well, I suppose it is a little church, but obviously I think it's used for when people are cremated, the small service, but just the families. Because you've got St. Elphin's over there, where I've filmed quite a lot of stuff. I did a little werewolf video today, which either's been out before or after this video on my channel. So we've not had anything else as of yet, but we've had two hits recently. I don't know why. I feel like it'll be better facing the camera outwards, but I don't want you to get bored. Well, obviously you don't want to look at my face for the duration. Right, I'll turn it around here. Actually, that I'm making, it's such a wide angle, which is what I like on my DSLR camera. Yeah, the wide angle. So while we're waiting for something else to pop up, there we go. Okay, that looks like a forest. Okay. That literally looks like a forest. I'm getting a little bit confused now, because I'm not in a forest, but then it also uses AI to try and, I believe, represent what energies it's feeling, or what the magnetic field is picking up. And I'm probably speaking absolute nonsense right now, but I can't explain that. Can you explain a forest? Obviously it's got all the colorations of heat detecting heat, electromagnetic field. So yeah, I cannot explain that. Anyway, let's turn it back around. If any of you follow me on Instagram and actually look at my photography, you may recognize some of these statues that I have photographed in the past. And I actually had my first few prints sent to me, which is good. I actually got 2 lots of them actually, because they made an error and forgot to send the first lot. Okay, I cannot make out what that is. When I get home, I'm going to have to look at the full size pictures of these. Because they don't really, well, they're unexplainable. I can't explain them, which is definitely falls under mystery, dinosaurs and mysteries. Now this is a massive graveyard. It's a lovely graveyard. I love graveyards for the very, very wrong reasons. They remind me of horror, of old school horror films, black and white. Same with the old churches and cathedrals. Maybe there's a ghost lurking, maybe there's a vampire or a werewolf or a shadow person or a monster you get my drift. But I've had a lot of, because I take pictures of a lot of religious statues, I've had people, through my photography, inviting me to go to like church services and stuff, because I photograph churches a lot and I photograph monuments. But I think they look creepy. I don't think they look... I like them for different reasons. Yeah. Let's have a look at this way again. You see my face for a little bit. Don't know how long I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to try and do one big loop of this graveyard and see where we get. There's a little... I suppose every now and then I could just do that, see if it picks anything up. I do want it to pick up something that obviously depicts like person, or these are quite modern, these. I'll walk this way and then I'll turn right at the end and head towards the older ones. Yeah, if it depicts a human form or figure, or... But then again, I don't decide these things. The app does. And the electromagnetic field, apparently. But when you get the actual ghost detecting tools, like the little hand devices, it's basically what they do. You can get different types, but I think this app is combining several of them into one. And this is the first app to do that, so it's regarded as the best multi-ghost hunting tool in terms of what you can have on your phone as an app. And I very nearly binned it off. I very nearly was going to do the one that just picks up ectoskeletal forms. But it's not just skeletal forms. If you pointed it at a gravestone, it'd give you some kind of an outline of the gravestone, for example. Yeah. Right, there's someone over there. Right, I'm a bit too close to people laying flowers down, so out of respect, I'm just gonna walk away and then I'll start filming again. Okay. Just pick something up again. Interesting. That does look interesting. I cannot wait to... That's obviously an AI picture based on something that it's picking up in this environment. And we're back. I don't like doing this when people are taking flowers to the loved ones' graves. I just think it'd make them really uncomfortable. So yeah, we're near the old part again now. It picked something up, but I managed to hit record in time, so you would have seen it already anyway. Yeah, so far I didn't realise how... I still don't... I've read it, I know what it does, this app, but there's a part of me that still doesn't quite get it. Like, it's so advanced. Because some of these pictures I'm seeing, I don't know what they are. I know that a lot of them are AI pictures, but how that AI picture and why it's the way it is, yeah, it's bonkers. Because like before, I think the camera was aiming at a path and some graves, and it looked like a part of a house or a building on a street with a very strange shadowy figure next to it. So is there a spirit of someone who wanders near a building, or someone who died near a building? It's absolutely bonkers. Right, I'll turn it around again. I might turn on the one that picks up ectoskeletal forms, just to see, because you know how, I was going to say, how awesome would it be if oh no, someone's over there. Let's go back this way. They're sorting out some flowers, so yeah, how awesome would it be if where there was no person, or there was no gravestones or anything, and it picked up a human-like form. I say that'd be awesome. Obviously it'd be creepy for most people, because you think, oh well, there must be a ghost or a spirit stood there. So I might do this for another 5 minutes and then call it, because I'm aware very long YouTube videos get a bit boring, especially if it's the same thing over and over again. But hopefully I might get 1 or 2 more results for you before it finishes. And there's someone else laying flowers. It's quite busy today. Right, I'm going to go back this way and go down that way. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Is that a symbol? Is it a snake? It's very bright, so I can't really see it properly, but see, I don't understand that. Why? Why is it that picture? Why is it that symbol? Why? How is it gathered that information to represent that image? Has it got something to do with maybe someone who passed away and is buried here? Something to do with their religion? Something to do with what they wore, or something that's on their grave? I honestly don't know. But this is the coolest part of the graveyard. All the old crooked, twisty gravestones that you'd see in a horror film when you try to get parts for Frankenstein's monster or the vampire rises. Sorry, I'll end up blurting out a screenplay at some point. An old 1930s-esque horror film. You know, I love the old Universal horror films. Absolutely love them. I know they're not scary. They were back in the day, but I just love them because they just proper fulfill that old horror vibe of classic monsters. Anyway, back to it. Oh dear. I don't know if aiming it this way actually helps. Well, I suppose the sensor's facing, I suppose this doesn't matter which way the actual camera's facing, the sensor's still there, isn't it? So I don't know if actually having it pointing at things that I think it might catch up things more actually helps. So I don't know if this, because I'm doing this thinking, oh, it might have the opportunity to pick more things up. But I don't know if that's just me oh, that really cool tombstone before. Oh, it's there. Is that it? I think that's it. I'm losing my marbles now. yeah, so I need to learn myself a lesson. I'll walk past things and I'll say, oh, that's a really good photograph. I'll go back when I've finished this video with my DSLR and get the picture, and then I'll forget where I saw them. But now there's several tombstones down here. I think that was it actually. So there's several tombstones that now I think was the tombstone that I wanted to photograph. So I'm going to have to photograph a bunch of them just in case. Sorry, eyes of a photographer. I've already photographed here, but that's the great thing about being a photographer. You could actually, let me get this. It's a great thing about a photographer. You could walk around somewhere, take photographs. You can go there another day, take completely different photographs, and so on and so on. And sometimes you can be in roughly the same area that took a photograph before, and sometimes just by a different foot placement, a slightly shift in angle, and the picture looks completely different. Sorry, I know this isn't a photography video, but what else can I talk about while I'm waiting for something to pop up? I've already gone over what I understand about this app. Yeah, I think when I get back to this little church crematorium place, I'll call it. That's pretty cool. The only thing about these is that you got all that distraction in the background, all the streets and the signs and the bloody cars. But more people. Yeah, I'm definitely going to call it soon because a lot of people are here to visit loved ones. Even me walking around with a camera, probably when I get my DSLR out, will probably. Oh, this is cool. If only it was dark and it was lit up. So you got this monument here. You got this, which you assume is a light. Yeah, there's a woman over there talking to a grave. It's a very old grave. Right, so I'm going to call it. I'm just going to do a little exit talk. So, if you've heard of this app, so it's GhostTube Seer, SEER. If you've heard of it and you understand it a bit more than me, then please comment on what these images are and how they are formed. Even though I've read it and I've told you how it works, when I see the images, I don't quite understand it. And to this moment, the one that screams paranormal to me is the one that I didn't realise that it had come up when I first downloaded the app and turned it on. Here we go. Okay, I do. How's that? I'm going to have to look at these when I get home. Anyway, yeah, if you've got this app or you've heard of it or you understand how it works a bit more than me, please let me know, because these AI images are completely bizarre and completely random, but I can't explain them, so it's a mystery. So it does belong on here. The most weirdest one is the one from my house that I didn't even know this had captured, and I saw it when I was loading the app up. There was an image there with a file number on it, and I clicked on it, and it was from when I got the app the other day. So anyway, we're going to call it. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and share this with anyone else. And if you're interested in paranormal or ghosts, these ghost tube apps, I think it's SLS Ghost Tube. There's 3 different ones that I'm aware of. One detects voices, one detects skeletal forms, like human-like forms, and this Seer app, which is completely bizarre, but it is really good, and it does give you a result, and it makes you think, huh? So anyway, stay safe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.